Marhaba Habibis.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuh. Fuck, Jay, what are we supposed to do next?
You're supposed to plug it.
God damn it. Okay. All right. Subscribe to the Patreon. Oh, god damn it. All right. We're embarrassing our guest.
Marhaba Habibis.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuh. Subscribe to the Patreon at patreon.com/Habibi Bros to catch the full episode. Jay.
Okay. Well, it's down in the link below.
Okay, let's just fucking play it.
It is now my great pleasure to welcome the Prime Minister of Japan and to thank him for this visit, which is the first visit to the United States of a world leader.
The way that I live my life is in direct support to Black people, including my Black family members.
We've reached the tippy top of the roller coaster. Like he was just going to slam down on the nuke button and take all of California out.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's going on, Habibis? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Mujahed Kobbe.
And we're the Habibi Bros. Welcome to another episode of Habibi Power Hour Premium. And we got a pretty special, very special guest on the show today, or whenever the hell you're watching it. And that is actually we're switching it up quite a bit. Shoe, get in here.
Hello. Hi. Salami, Ashabla, whatever. Yes. Hi. That was the craziest intro. I love the intro so much.
You said inshallah in
yes,
Hell World, and I immediately had to clip it. I was like, she is implementing Sharia.
Just take all of California out. Inshallah.
Gotta do it. Inshallah.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. We're so glad you could join us here.
Thank you for having me.
Power Hour. She is the host of Hell World, as well as a YouTuber. You can find her on YouTube. Literally, Shoe on Head, and the on has a 0 instead of an O.
Yeah.
How did that come about, by the way?
The regular, normal Shoe on Head was taken, so I was like, all right. 0. There's no interesting. But do you know where the name like Shoe on Head comes from? Like the origin of that?
No.
You know, like okay. So it was like a meme like back in the day in like 2008, maybe earlier than that, where like in order to prove that a girl was real and not just a GIF on a loop, in a chat room, they would be like, put a shoe on your head. Shoe on head or not real. So like they would have to put a shoe on their head. So that's where that came from.
That's a level of onlineness I don't even think I was capable of.
Do you remember the website? you'rethemannow.com? Do you YMT?
Oh my
no.
God, I'm like, either I feel really old or I'm like too young because I don't remember any of this.
I don't know. I feel like it might be in your age, but whatever. That's where it was like popularized. Yeah. And I've been canceled for that because it's apparently sexist and racist, the name. I don't know.
That makes sense. Well, welcome. I mean, we are in the land. I mean,
yeah.
So Shubibi is here.
Yes.
She is among the land of the canceled, and it's. I mean, you've been through quite an evolution politically. I feel for many people who follow you, it's very difficult to pinpoint your politics.
It's always been pretty difficult for people.
But like that's great. I mean, because people find it difficult to pinpoint both me and Jay, specifically Jay, because he's on every watch list imaginable.
Right.
And but for you, where would you say you kind of stand on the spectrum? Like, is it just like kind of a blurred line at this point?
I'm pretty solidly on the left, and I just don't like I don't know how else to describe it, like the woke culture, like the PMC liberal shit, like the terrible optics shit. Like, I just don't like that. Also, can you curse here? Because I keep saying,
Oh, fuck
shit.
yeah, you can curse.
Of course.
Okay.
If you want some Arabic curse words too, I'll let you know.
Yeah, Jay, teach us some right now as I fix my light.
Yeah.
Just say kus ummak to whoever you want to. Like if you go to a restaurant and it has Ramadan Kareem on it and you had a good meal, just say kus ummak while you're walking out.
All right, I'll remember that. I'll say it. What does that mean? I'm scared to ask.
It means it's an insult in Arabic. It means your mother's pussy. Like the literal translation is your mother, but it is like fuck your mother. That's basically what it is.
Okay. I'll remember that.
we'll text that to you.
Yes.
Make sure, and we'll give you the phonetic transliteration so you know exactly how to say it in just the right tone.
That will come in handy. I'll tell you how that goes.
Yeah. So you're firmly on the left, but you're definitely not feeling what you're seeing coming from the Democratic Party.
Oh God,
today.
No. Yeah.
In your view, I mean, we're not even 100 days into the Biden presidency. How do you think it's going so far?
So the administration itself is like really, really embarrassing. It's like a skit that I would make in a video where it's like their really fake vapid identity politics show that they put on.
Yeah.
Like Biden keeps taking pictures with his, diverse cabinet and putting them on Twitter. It's like, this is what America looks like. This is what America's. I don't know if you saw that one picture, but it was like all of them in this huge room, like 6 feet apart, standing like very still. It was like the creepiest shit I've ever seen.
Oh,
and
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was like, this is what I could try to find it if you want, but
no,
it's like,
no, we got it.
This is
I'm
what
pulling
America
it up right now.
Yeah. And so he keeps doing shit. Like there was that. There was also he got a bunch of like military leaders to do that. They were like all diverse and whatever. And it's like fine if you have a diverse cabinet, obviously, but he treats them like they're like tokens. It's just very weird to see. And then also Jen, I don't know how to even pronounce the last name. Jen
Rubin?
Brzezinski? No. The lady.
Rubin on your mind.
Oh, you mean Jen Psaki?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jen
I
Yazuki.
keep saying Piskinski, but her
Piskinski.
name is like all right. It's one of those. All right. So like she during the I touched on this in Hell World like briefly, but during the games stonk stuff, they asked her about it, like the Wall Street bets. They were like, what are you going to do about it? And she was just like, I would like to remind everybody that we have the first female Secretary of Treasury or something. I was like, what? And she's done it a few times where she like dodges a question to tell like, oh, we have the first female whatever. And then one time she did it. It wasn't even the first female position. Donald Trump had a female in that position too, and people before him. And it was like, oh my God, it's really, really embarrassing.
It's so bad. Anyways, here's the photo you're talking about.
Look
at that. They're all of them are wearing masks.
They're like, so look at Pete Buttigieg. Like, do you see him? He's like, Mom said it's my turn. Mom said it's my turn. Mom said it's my turn to be president. That's him.
Oh my God. It's so bad. And yes, that was I remember that we were panning that so hard when Jen Psaki said we're not sure what we're gonna do, but we do have the first woman Treasury Secretary. So there's that.
Such a circus. Yeah.
It was such
Whoa, Jay, what is that in your background?
That's just what Biden thinks about all day in the presidency.
Hunter pulling my hair.
I love when the right tries to like own like the Democrats by showing all these pictures of Biden just like being a dude, like being a bro, living his best life. Like,
it's
how
really
will he
funny.
ever recover?
How will the president ever recover from this?
This is something that I don't stop thinking about because remember during the Obama years, like The Onion, which is I think gone down quite a bit over the years, particularly during the Trump presidency. But during the Obama years, they were so good because they made fun Joe Biden like he was like this, loose cannon. They called him Uncle, I think it was like Diamond Joe.
Yeah.
And then when all the Me Too stuff started coming out, The Onion apologized for like their characterization as it basically being like the real thing.
Mm-hmm. It's hilarious.
It's and like I never forget that. It's just like, well, why would you apologize for something? Everybody talks about how like The Onion is real news sometimes. Like that, sometimes they get it. I mean, look at that. Jay, what is that? Who is that character?
It's an anime character, but what was really funny is Neon compiled all the different pictures of Joe being very creepy to little girls and just replaced all of them with anime girls. And that's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's so good.
Oh my God. So, all right. I know you've been cynical about I'll pose this question to you first, Jay, because, I know you're no fan of this administration. What do you think the best thing they've done so far? Or what do you think the best thing Biden has done so far? I'll give you all the time you need.
Please do, because it's very hard to see what's the best thing he's done. Because
if you like raise your seat just a little bit, it'll look like you're thinking about Biden sniffing the girl, the anime girl.
That's good.
Yeah, it's hard for me to think of what he's done. Because I mean, most of the rhetoric that has come out from the administration hasn't been to unify, or it hasn't been, mid of the road moderate like we were told it was going to be. But something he's done well. The border.
See, we have completely different. Like you're saying he isn't a moderate. Like I see him as just like this super milquetoast moderate. Maybe not on the border, but like, yeah, it's funny that we're just.
Wait, whoa, Jay, you think of him as a moderate?
Yeah.
Me? Oh
no, Jay.
I do.
Jay, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I do think of him as a moderate. I mean, there's some issues that he's a little bit further left than others, but there are some that he does pull the left back on, like for sure. But in terms of like being good, I don't see anything that I could give him any props for.
Yeah, that's a very tough one for me too. I don't know if there's anything that he's done well so far. Like even the vaccine rollout has been kind of shit. But what about you, June? Wow. I was gonna say June, then Shoe, and then it just came out as Jew.
Oh no!
And all of a sudden I'm canceled. So Shoe, what do you think is the best thing Biden has done so far?
He's planning, or at least he talked about getting rid of private prisons, and that's like a really, really good thing. That's actually one thing I voted for him on. Like, okay. Which is like, we shouldn't even have those. I don't know why we still have them. So that's good. I don't know how that's going. I don't know if they're actually doing it.
Well, he did sign an executive order that was going to ban private prisons, but this is the big but. He was keeping open. Keeping open immigrant detention facilities that are private.
Yeah.
So
he's doing great.
At the border. So, in fact, I caught this little sliver of this little nugget from Kamala Harris back when she was running for president in 2019. I can't recall. Was she the first like top tier candidate to drop out in the Democratic primary?
Was she even top tier though?
She dropped out pretty early.
Yeah,
nobody liked her. She did terrible.
No, she was awful. In fact, the one like unifying statement between the left and the right was basically dunking on Kamala Harris. Yes. This is what she tweeted out back in June of 2019, saying detaining these children at the border is a human rights abuse being committed by the United States government. And then it's just constantly, it's just
And now
flipped
she's
on its head.
like, it's a very difficult situation. Like, we understand that it's difficult, so why promise any? Like, that's what I don't understand. Why promise something you know that you're just not going to do? Then you just look like an idiot.
Oh, for sure. I
They
mean,
don't care, though.
it won't matter. It won't matter when she basically smothers President Biden with a pillow and assumes the presidency. But like,
exactly.
Yeah, like, so that's the thing is like we say like, oh, they banned private prisons, but then there's like a huge but. Right
there's always a but. There's also the child tax credit thing, which I think is good. I don't know if you guys saw that. It was like basically they're going to tax people without children to give money to people with children, and people were very, very mad at this, and I think it's like great. Like, I'd rather my taxes go to something like that than like more war shit or whatever.
So what you're saying is that Jay and I need to have 69 children
yes,
in order to actually make a profit on this show.
Yeah.
Well, I know where we can find some kids in cages to.
Yeah, exactly. Just adopt some, exactly.
Now let's flip that coin. All right. Now I probably will say this. I don't actually know if there's anything good that Biden has done. It's very tough. But now this will be a fun one. And I'll start off with you, Shoe. What is the worst thing that Biden has done so far as president?
Oh God, there's a lot. The whole walking back on like $15 minimum wage, which I knew they were gonna do. Walking back on student debt. That one was a big one. Joe basically was like, fuck you. Like, he literally said that to somebody who asked him about it. He was like, oh, that's not happening. Anyway, next. Meanwhile, they like ran on that. Again, another thing I voted for him for, just so many L's. Taking so many L's.
There was actually that tweet between you and Joe Biden voters posting it.
Yes. Honestly, they should just have like alerts of my Twitter. Just like, should have some automatic bot just posting all my tweets onto that account. Just like constantly. What's funny is like in 2016, I didn't vote. I did the whole, okay, I'm going to vote for Bernie. And then like, I'm just not going to vote. So I told myself, next election, I'm going to vote. I'm going to do my citizen duty and I'm going to vote no matter what. I'm going to like, and then just coping every day, coping.
Yeah, because I feel like after Joe Biden became president, there's like much more voter remorse you're feeling from the left who voted for him than people on the right that hold their nose to vote for Trump in 2016. Maybe it's because we have these like Twitter accounts and I'm very online and I see these like L's, Biden voters posting L's, but it really feels that way, though. It does. That there's like a lot of voter remorse coming out by voting for Biden.
Yeah, you have like the whole left that already does hate the Democratic Party too. So like, there's always going to be left-wing people just like crying and hating and molding at the Democratic Party. So no matter what, so it's pretty easy content.
Yeah, it's always easy content. I mean, the thing is, I think about this all the time, like. The things that people were complaining about, and we'll get into some of them over the course of this episode, like this would probably what blew me away back in like, I want to say the government shutdown. I can't even remember which number government shutdown that happened under Trump because there's so many. But back when it was over the border wall, I remember seeing protests on the National Mall. And some white liberal woman had a sign that said, if Hillary were president, we'd be at brunch right now. You remember that?
There are so many signs. I have a whole collage of.
And I was like,
yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the fucking problem right there because you never gave a shit beforehand.
Exactly.
And and they don't give a shit now because their party's already in charge. And so like the same problems that existed under Trump that they were tearing their hair out over still exist, and in fact they're worsening. I mean, just today, the day that we're recording this, the Biden administration basically agreed to the same refugee cap as the Trump administration. Where's the fucking outrage? Where are the protests? Where are the protests in the streets over this?
And like, Yeah, exactly. Yeah. With the brunch people, it's kind of like a thing. We call them brunch Democrats. And you saw as soon as Biden won, I had a gimmick account for like 2 months. It was called Anti-Brunch Action, kind of like how Antifa spelled, like with the K and everything. And what I would do is I would collect check marks who, when Biden win, would be like, now I can sleep. Now I don't have to watch TV. Now I don't have to. And it's like, holy shit. And yeah, I collected a lot of that.
Oh man! By the way, my favorite woman in the world, Jennifer Rubin.
Yes.
Let's pull that up. I have it on hand. Here it is. Sleeping in the Biden era.
Hold on. Yes.
in the Biden era, we have our weekends back.
No. God.
Oh, it doesn't get any better than Jenna Rubin.
It
Oh,
really
man.
doesn't.
Habibis, to catch the full episode, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to us on Patreon at patreon.com/Habibi Bros.
That link below.
وأطفالي 8 وتاسعهم سيأتي بعد صيف